back with another video. This video is actually for projectors, and I'm hoping that my projector followers and viewers will feel free to jump in and add your experience. I'm making this sort of in response to one of my projector clients' questions about invitations, and she wanted to know what it looks like to be uninvited. So I have my own experience with this, and I'd love to know what your experience is in the comments below. Now, what I want to talk about first, or what I want to just set the stage with first, I guess, is what does it look like when you're invited? And I know that there are other videos here, and there are videos in the Projector Empowerment group about invitations. We did a training on that, and I will be sure to leave a link to that Projector Empowerment Facebook group if you want to join it and watch that video on invitations. But in a nutshell, an invitation, of course, is for something big in your life, like a major relationship, marriage, something that comes around once in a lifetime that requires a lot of energy and commitment. It could be even an invitation to have a child, or to make a major move in your life, or to change careers. All of those things require the energy resources of other people to draw you out and invite you into their circles to do what it is that you do, and you get the energy to sustain that through the invitation and the people who are issuing the invitation. It's very direct. You are not designed to be a body in a chair or just anybody in a relationship. You are designed to be recognized for your special, what it is that you bring to that other person or to those other people, and they feel it and recognize it and can't help but invite you into their lives, or the opportunity that only you can fit into, and only you have what it takes to fulfill the purpose or the intention of that invitation. So I hope you can get the feeling for what that is. You know, you're recognized for who you are, you're valued for who you are, and it's a very direct, coming from the person who has the energy to facilitate the opportunity. That's who the invitation comes from. The person who has the power to offer the energy to draw you in. So it's very much about, hey, I see who you are and I want you in my life. I see who you are. I want you in my business. I see who you are. I know who you are. I value you, and I want you as my friend. I want you as a person on this team, if that's appropriate and correct. So you can get the idea. It's very, very strong energy that comes out and draws you in. So what is it like, or what does it look like to be uninvited? Well, I'll tell you that in my life, I've been uninvited quite a few times to things, even before I knew about this concept of being a projector and needing to have invitations. I was invited out of my first marriage, and it looked something like, hey, I don't want to be married anymore to you. I was invited out of a relationship that actually, looking back, I wasn't really invited into. I was kind of doing the initiating, but it was a very direct invitation to that it was time, we were done. And one thing I want to point out that I've noticed is that sometimes the reason that it's really important to wait for an invitation by the right people and use your authority to really discern whether or not the invitation is correct is because once you get into the energy that is there as a projector, it's really hard to get out without an invitation to leave. So what I've noticed in my own life is that the strength of the, or the quality of the disinvitation, it seems to be in proportion to the strength and the quality of the invitation. So the more direct the invitation was, the more direct the disinvitation can be. But also what I've noticed is that there's there are warning signs along the way, or there are little red flags along the way, or little cues and subtle signs where maybe the other person, or maybe the workplace no longer recognizes or values you. Maybe you are, maybe you have grown, and what you were recognized for in the beginning is no longer who you are, or you are capable of much more, or have shifting needs and desires, or the other person or people who invited you in may have shifted as well. And there's this energy disconnect, or this weakening of the energy between you and the situation, the relationship, the work environment, that really is palpable, where you're not quite getting maybe the in terms of work and the advancements that you were getting, or you find yourself working extra hard, either in a relationship or in your career, and not getting where you feel like you need to be, like you're wasting a lot of energy. One of the cues for me, especially in that one relationship where I wasn't quite invited, was that I was doing all of the pursuing toward the end. And I was the one that was trying to make it work. And I was the one that was bending over backwards to keep the connection going. And you can translate that into career as well, that it's extra hard for you to keep that energy up in order to show up in the way that you had done before, in order to fulfill your role within the organization or within the business that you're working in. And and all of that kind of boils down to burnout, especially in the career arena. But you can also be burned out in your relationship. That's what happened with me with my first husband. I was burned out in that relationship. And so was he, and there were signs along the way. There were really good signs along the way, because we did have at times good communication, where we had agreed on to work on the relationship for a while, and which was very beneficial. That's another sidelight in terms of how to leave a relationship intact. The more conscious you are, and the more that you put into it to resolve your own stuff, the cleaner the break will be. And there's none of that lingering on, or depletion and wishing you had done things, regrets, things like that. That's an aside. When that break came, when we were sitting at the kitchen table and he said, "I don't want to be married to you anymore," I knew it was coming, because I had seen this, I had felt the signs, and I was actually very relieved, because it was really kind of the only way that energetically I could divest myself of that relationship. So I guess to summarize, what is it like to be, what does it look like to be uninvited? Well, first of all, you have to be clear on whether or not you were truly invited. And, and a lot of people, when we're in casual relationships, or have fallen into a work situation that maybe we just kind of needed as a bridge job or something like that, we're not fully recognized anyway. So the energy connection there is weak. The energy for support is weak in that regard. The energy to really bring out what lights you up is weak to begin with. But you can also feel in those situations, and also in these direct invitation situations, when that connection starts to wane. And sometimes it may be hard to jump out without the disinvitation or without the invitation to leave. So I'm wondering what your experiences are with that. And if you want to put your comments down below, I would love to read them. I also want to let you know that I am almost ready to schedule that workshop that we are going to do to celebrate 1,200 subscribers. Please keep checking the comments link on my page if you want to know what the dates are. I don't know if it's going to be this Sunday because this is Labor Day Sunday. I may wait until the following Sunday to do that. But there is a place in the comments where I left a link for you to sign up ahead of time because it is going to be on an unlisted YouTube link so that we can have some privacy to chat and do what we need to do. So I think that's it for now. I will let you know when I firm up the date and the time what that will be, and I will also repost that sign up link in the community tab along with the date and time for the workshop. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, wise projectors, and even those of you who are not projectors but love projectors and understand this invitation and disinvitation dynamic. I'd love to have your comments as well. Please like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the little bell so that you're notified when I upload new videos, and please share it with anyone you think would benefit. Until the next time, be well.